can. My shit look crusty.
Yeah.
It's presentable.
Yeah.
See, I do this shit for the ladies.
Yeah.
And I do it for myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You got that shit on though, bro.
I gotta feel as good as I look.
Come on, man.
Thank you. Right back at you.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
Hell yeah.
What's going on, man? How your day was, man?
It was a good day to be alive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really.
Yeah.
I feel like what highlighted that is the weather.
Yeah.
The weather.
Yeah.
Weather played a big part in that shit, man.
You know, I feel you. This project really felt like a summer album when I was making, like, while we were making it, even before, like, the summer came. But it kind of fit this theme, too. Like, it kind of, like, the cold.
I feel like we playing with time a lot. So that's, like, season where it get cold, like cutting petals, really.
Yeah.
Where the beat feel like a heartbeat.
You know?
Or some, like, in the cold shit be pumping fast. But, like, the type of topic we on, too, for real. It's like it get cold. It's not always sunny.
Oh, God. And you know what? That leads right into the perfect question. My first question I wanted to know is what inspired you, or what were you on when you made Cutting Petals? Because, like, you, during the process of the album, it's like, you know, like, you would send me a pack and I come back with some shit, or, like, you know, we make some shit there. But Cutting Petals was one of the only songs, was like, you already had the song. Like, the idea, the bars. So I was just like, nigga, you got it. I'm going to just lay this verse down. So, like, when you were creating that, like, what was your headspace?
Creating the song or creating, like, decision of, like, putting it in the
both.
mix?
The song, the decision, the beat, because it's one of the most wicked, like, beats on the whole tape.
I respect that. Thank you. First and foremost. Thank you for that.
Yeah,
for
of
sure.
course.
That's a sacred thing. I want to say at the beginning of it, I was hydrated.
Nah, we feel that. I feel that.
Before anything. And I
Yeah.
feel like it was just God talking. And I was just being a vessel in that. I feel like it was just a reflection of where the times was at.
Yeah.
I feel like a whole bunch of stuff been built up, and just living inside a nigga that Cutting Petals was kind of like a release of it.
Yeah.
Rip out the page.
Yeah.
Type.
Yeah.
Catch my breath. And go.
Yeah.
And like that exemplifies from the drums, where the snares at.
Yeah.
How the snares barely in there. And it's really like the drums just going that rhythm. It feel like human. It's humanized. It feel like a post almost.
Yeah.
And then the reverse sample in that bitch. That chop just, you know.
Silly.
Money.
Silly.
That's just a signature for sure.
Yeah.
But they married each other.
Yeah.
They made each other. I feel like the beat brought it out of me.
Yeah.
In that sense. And the beat was really just God talking. But I want to say thank you for delivering.
Come on, man.
Thank you for, like, showing the love.
Bro.
And I got to flip that back to say hi. Taking all that in. Like, how you feel working in that, like, or in that way. How normally it was we making something together. Or like I sent you a empty beat and you did something. And this was the first one where I had. And I had the verse. I had the thing already.
Yeah.
And I shipped it out to you.
Yeah. No, that was amazing. You put it on the silver platter. Like,
Yeah.
I had no other choice but to hit it out the park. I remember, like, at certain days, like, you know, we made it all in the same time, but at certain days that's, like, extremely vivid. And that's one of those days. When you first showed it to me, and I went home, like, bro, who is this nigga? Like,
That's how I'm supposed to be.
like, what?
That's how it's supposed to be.
And then I came back the next session, and you already had your verse recorded. And that's how I knew you really wanted to do it for real, because you had the verse already ready. I was like,
the vibrations was there.
And I was already
all the
thinking
way
about
there.
it from, like, the last time.
Yeah.
Like, okay, when I get in the booth, it's time to destroy that. And it was nothing for me to write that. On God.
That's something I'm amazed by.
Yeah.
That's something that, like, marvels me, bro. I swear to God.
Yeah.
Like, the ability to make the dopest shit ever in, like, a short amount of time.
Yeah.
Like, you pull up to the space, something's playing, we make something's already playing.
Yeah.
And you got, like, you got both sides already.
Come
right
on,
there.
man.
On the spot type shit.
Come on, man.
You got the sunshines on the soul
Yeah.
on the spot right there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, that wickedness is genius. It's gifted, bro.
Thank
and
you,
I
bro.
just want to,
Appreciate
like, ask you, how's that evolution been from, like, your first project and where you was making that to this one?
You know, I didn't trust, like, my skill as much as I do now. You know, like, I didn't believe it was, like, a gift. I just thought it was, like, this thing that, like, I just stumbled, like, upon and just, like, did.
Yeah.
So, like, I'll say my first project, like, I had mixtapes before this, but my first album, Grind. When I was making that, it was, like, an anxious time period.
Yeah.
I probably wrote so much and I made so much, but I didn't believe that, like, I was dope.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew that, like, you know, for freestyling, for example, like, I'm quick with it. I could think of things, like, quick on the spot. I've been making songs in the studio like that, but I didn't believe that it was like a talent. I thought it was just this thing that like, I stumbled upon and ended up doing.
You a wizard.
But over time, like crafting that and starting to believe that more, and probably this is the most I felt it because of our work chemistry, like in the studio, to where it's like it's something that like was noticed. Yeah. Nobody even noticed that before, Like once I was like, oh, I do be doing that. Like I do this to be like, it started making me believe it, and it made it easier to do. To
it's like
point,
a kill switch.
You know what I'm saying? To the point to where it's like when you put up with cutting pedals and had to be, I was like, oh, this is nothing.
Hey, yeah.
Like what is nothing? Like
how it's supposed to be.
So really, just time and just like mining that craft.
Yeah.
And perfecting that craft over and over again to the point where it's like second nature. Rapping is like talking,
That sound like an organ.
You know what I'm saying?
Like a vessel.
You know what I'm saying?
And I put that on a platter to ask this follow-up thing and really ask, from the first project, the trenches, to how you introduce that and like the intro.
Yeah.
To the sun shines on the soul, to wipe me down. Yeah. Starting off that record and the same slippery surfing, that verse.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Where's that from, bro?
Well, I actually wrote that little thing. I wrote that in high school.
Yeah.
There was like this hurricane. I was just like writing during that hurricane, and I wrote it to Elevators,
like
Outkast joint. Yeah. And I called it like Lucifer's Quill, and it was like it's about like shaking the devil.
That's a hard ass title though. Kid.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And that song was gonna be like on my like first mixtape that I put out in college, but SoundCloud, they played me. They blocked out the song. So the song never came out, but I always really liked that. And when Trencher started, when I was making Knee Deep, it kind of just felt like the perfect way to bring that back to where I was at in my life, to what I was going to be talking about. It felt like the perfect, like, okay, we about to start a journey. Yeah. And the line, slippery serpent, listen and learn, and he pressing your issue, what you going to do? It's just about, the devil, it's a slippery serpent, he pressing your issue, like, he's on you. What are you going to do in that situation? And then, I give you Knee Deep, and it's kind of the same situation, it's a slippery serpent, you listen and learning. What you going to do? And then I give you, or we gave them, the sun shines on us all. But in my brain, when I, in my brain, when I did that, I knew it fit because I knew what we were finna be talking about. I knew the time that we was gonna be on. So, how I feel about that record and the rest of the records on the album, I kind of be tossing up of what's my favorite and like what I like. So that's kind of my next question to you. What record are you most excited for people to hear?
That's a great question. I'm gonna say Tangerine.
Explain that.
Tangerine.
Explain that.
I feel like the candidness and like the vulnerability and just the experimentation. I feel like niggas was taking risk on that record.
Okay.
Risk as in, you came to me talking about, I got the melodies. I feel like that was like the sign or like the prelude for real of like starting that, just adding harmonization.
Yeah.
Adding these riffs, adding the like just, that soul and that,
I feel that.
And Tangerine was like the onset of it, what I gotta say. So I feel like what you was talking about, to how like you painted a picture, I feel like that resembles goddamn the sun shines on the soul perfectly. For real. From the record to the chorus to like the way you harmonizing on that motherfucker. What you talking about. It feel like home, it feel like grass, it feel like oxygen. And to me, I'm excited as hell for people to hear that one, my nigga.
I appreciate that because like singing on a record is something I've been so uncomfortable with for so long, and that's something that like I had to grow into, and like
I just bring it out of me.
I can sing a little bit, but like you giving that like that reassurance while we was making that record, bro, that was everything. And like the biggest thing about this record has been like the trust that I have when I walk in the studio, that like it's gonna be crazy no matter what he's on, and you trust me as the artist to like flip it and make it. And it's like it's not even a question of if it's dope or if you like it. It's like, bro, let's do it. Like if you think it's dope,
come on,
it's dope. And that makes me make more dope shit. And honestly, how I feel about that and how I feel about just how like music lives on forever, I guess my next question would be,
it's hard
because we such like lovers of this craft and like lovers of like the art form in general.
Yeah.
That like I be wanting to understand, what would you show off this album to your kids? Like what's the song that you would play them? Like this is something you need to like live off of.
Shit, Tangerine.
That's the one.
Tangerine of the sun shines on the soul. That title track.
Yeah.
But I feel like Tangerine is my shit. That's my shit.
Yeah.
How about you?
I'll probably say cutting pedals.
Cutting pedals?
Yeah, like for food. Like, that's some shit that, like,
That's
they need to
food.
sit with. You know what I'm saying? Whenever they're going through it, cut them pedals and grow.
I respect that.
And understand, like, why you pursuing your craft. And, like,
I respect that.
What it's for.
Hell yeah.
We got some on the way.
And I gotta ask you, what's your favorite record?
Probably cutting pedals.
Cutting pedals?
Probably cutting pedals for that same reason. It's real food. And I love the fact, honestly, that you made it. And I was just there to kind of, like,
That was a fly dynamic.
Sir. Come on.
I like how we spread that out across the project.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot. But my nigga, October 27th.
October 27th.
It's a holiday.
That's
shutting that shit down.
That's cemented.
You feel me?
That's
history
cemented.
Forever.
That's
boy.
cemented.
And it's an honor. It's a privilege. And I feel like it's real groundbreaking shit we doing right now, my boy. And I wouldn't want to do it anyone else.
I don't want to do it nobody else.
Solidify this shit. This the first one in the books, nigga.
Many more.
You feel me?
Brick Road
Records representing. I feel like we the world next.
Oh God, sometimes on the song.